Joining us now inside the Huntington Beach City Council chambers is Council Member Pat Burns. Pat, hello, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good.
This is your new home right here.
Yeah, the whole building.
The entire building.
Yeah,
and they give you an office too.
Yeah, we had to connive for that, but it worked.
It's in the deal, I think.
Yeah.
But having said that, you actually, when the campaign was and the election, you had the most votes. When it all was tallied, you had the most votes out of anyone, but yet you were basically plucked from obscurity. No, I mean, we didn't really know of you until the campaign. What do you attribute to this, and what do you attribute to your success?
Well, I think politics didn't know me. The political world didn't know me.
Okay.
But I had participated in several events or things throughout the city. I had a part of a large surfing community for years, and then I was St. Bonaventure. I was part of that community. I was on the school board. I was reading dad for years. I was part of the finance committee. So I was involved there and worked at some of their fundraisers. And I was on boards, commissions, and things like that. So I was active, just not with the politicians
On the
or the political pundits or anybody. I wasn't political. Eric Peterson is the only guy I hung out with, and we didn't talk politics too much, but he recruited me. Oh yeah, he wanted me, he said, I need somebody to take my place, and you are it. And I told him 2 years ago, well now 3 probably, that try to find somebody else. And if you don't, I don't have a good reason to say no, because it's something that needed to be done. And I'm passionate about this city. I love it. I care for its future, and I don't mind working for it. I'm retired, and I do have the time. I mean, it has altered my life, but I'm good with that.
Is there any, and I'm asking everybody this, is there one thing that has surprised you about now you're elected, you're here, you're seated, you're doing the job? Is there one thing that surprises you or maybe stands out more as you go along in this job?
Not really. I've been part of commissions and stuff, so politically, and then I worked for City of Long Beach, so I understand how the city works, cities, had the basics. So it's no real surprise in that aspect. Even being a council member, there's no surprise. There's some things that I find especially irritating, that like the state's overreach, and those are kind of things that I don't understand how a good American is okay with that. It's so against what I believe we stand for, and it kind of like, how can they look in the mirror and say, that's a great thing for America. That is something that's in line with our Constitution and the self-governance and that kind of thing. I don't understand how our country is going, and our city was, going in such a contrary direction than I've always believed in.
Well, I think most of the people in the city of Huntington Beach would relish local control. I mean, that to me is obvious and logical.
I agree, and you got a governor who's trying to tell us how we're going to run our city, but yet he tells the federal government that we're a sanctuary, and I'm not saying we're claiming sanctuary, but we can self-govern. We're quite capable, and we know what's good for Huntington, and we want to do right by Huntington. I believe this is a great city, and we don't need Sacramento interfering with our governing, especially when I believe it's harmful to our quality of life. And they keep on bringing up affordable housing, but when a house goes up for sale, it's being sold. Somebody's buying it, so it's affordable to someone. And I have a pretty nice life here in Huntington Beach. I don't want somebody else taking that away or diminishing it in any way. And it's not like I expect the state to come in and say, you deserve an upgrade. We're going to upgrade you to like Beverly Hills, Bel Air or something, because you want to live bigger, better, right? No, I want to live the way I've chosen. I want to live where I kind of rate. And I just think that people respect what they earn a lot better, and they'll only disrespect if they get it for nothing.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Um, was some of these attributes that you have and you're sharing today in your job stems from being a police officer at all? I mean, your public safety is such a huge issue in Huntington Beach. Do you think that helped you being an officer?
Yeah, it's public service, you know. There's a few things that happened in my career that I think really helped me. It really, really set a pace for almost my life as far as public service. And there was a couple calls that stood out that changed me forever. That public service, that's what's important. It's not like call to call, answering calls or arresting individuals. It's really just public service. People need government's help in certain areas, and government should stay out of other areas. And the service part, though, it's important to me.
Well, you're also taking on other roles of service. I believe you're an ELK member.
Yes.
In Huntington Beach, and they really help with the veterans in and around our area. Would you like to comment on the ELKs a little bit?
ELKs, I think it's an incredible organization. Where there's a veteran in need, there will be an ELK, I believe, is something to their saying. And we also put a lot of money towards youth, helping homeless youth and things like that. At Christmas, I think I've helped almost every year that I've been a member, about 8, 9 years. And we do Christmas boxes of food and gift cards. And I think they're serving over 200 families now and some veterans. It's incredible, big boxes of food and around Christmas time. And then they do things like put wreaths and flags on Veterans Day on the gravesite of, it's last one I did was in Newport at Pacific View, funeral or mortuary. And that's just awesome. That's just an awesome experience.
So that's the ground point or the beginning point every year for the Elks on Talbot. We're talking about the Huntington Beach BO 1959, is the Santa Claus ride.
Oh, the motorcycle.
These cycles of Santa Clauses come out delivering toys and so forth. That's such a great event, you know, and that's so organic, you know. That's that's so Huntington Beach, we like to call it, right?
Well, it's just good community service. I mean, with government not involved. Government doesn't need to be involved in everything or dictating how things need to be done. People are quite capable of doing that on their own.
So is that's going to be your mantra going forward in your stewardship, if you will, is to at least one of the 7 votes, one of you yourself going forward, that's going to be kind of your charge, is keeping that foremost in your mind?
Well, service to the people, and try to serve them to how they want to be governed, and to provide the services that government should try to provide to them. The residents and the businesses, we all are here because we love Huntington Beach pretty much. And for somebody to try to take that away and change it just because they think so, and they're probably, hardly been here or don't know us or haven't invested here, I don't think it's their place to be the judge or dictator of what we should do because they want us to do it. We can govern ourselves. I feel strongly about that.
Wow. Well, I really do thank you so much for expanding on your goals and who you are and what you're about. I think it's really important that the people also get to know you a little bit better as you're now in this chamber twice a month and you have an office upstairs.
Yeah, I really don't. It's, if there's anything, it kind of cracks me up that people, oh, hey, you're Councilman Burns. It's like, I'm just Pat.
There you go.
I'm still the same guy. Okay. I'm not any different.
You're grounded.
Yeah, I'm pretty grounded. It took a lot for me to I had to set aside a lot of my normal ways of life to run. That's one thing. I had to get on that Facebook, which I do not like. That's just hell for me, to be honest with you.
But you're seeing this, so that's one of the changes, is that maybe you didn't know it was going to take so much time being involved with all this? Maybe
I
that
did.
was one of the surprising changes.
Yeah, it was really the campaigning part that I had to throw myself out there. I mean, that's the campaigning part. So knocking, walking neighborhoods.
Over
And
110 events.
yeah, that kind of stuff, it wasn't hard, but yet it was definitely different because I just like doing my own thing and pretty low key,
Yeah.
you know.
All right. Well, thank you for being low key here.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
Certainly appreciate the time today, Pat. Thank you very much.
No
You're
problem.
a Huntington Beach City Council member here in your City Council chambers, or our City Council chambers, very much. Thank you.
My pleasure.
All right. Pat Burns has been your guest today, getting to know him a little bit better, right here in Huntington Beach. We'll see you next time. I'm Matt Liffreing.